Good morning, one and all. We are blessed with the great and mighty Bella is back today. Yay! Today, some readings from the Taittiriya Upanishad. Taittiriya is the sound a bird makes, one of the great Upanishads. So come down into the posture of life. Fall back into the earth. Try to lift the heart and find an arch in your low back. As we age, don't lose this lumbar curvature in your low back. You want to keep this lumbar curvature all the days of your life. And so you fall back into the pose, and it naturally opens up your ability to breathe. Breath is life. So let's take a moment and just squeeze and contract. Squeeze your fists, squeeze your forearms, your shoulders, your feet, your legs, squeeze your glutes, your belly, and make your body very strongly engaged here, and then let it go. Let the fingers roll on, roll out. Let's try that again, a full body contraction. So you squeeze up your fists and your forearms and your shoulders and your feet and your hips and your thighs and your calves and your quadriceps, and you squeeze and you squeeze and you squeeze, and then let it go. At its heart, all of these yoga practices are very simple. Let's do a third one. Squeeze and contract every muscle you can find in this shape, the posture of life, and you squeeze and you squeeze and you squeeze and you squeeze. And then when you let go, the tension just rolls out of your nervous system, out of your muscles. And this is the reading from the Taittiriya Upanishad. From food are made all bodies, which become food again for other living beings after death. Food is the most important thing of all things for the body. Food is the best medicine for the body's ailments. Those who look upon food as the Lord's gift shall never lack life's physical comforts. From food are made all physical bodies. All bodies feed on food, and it feeds on all bodies. The physical body is made up of food, and within the physical body is contained the breath body. Man and woman, beast and bird live by breath. Breath is the true sign of life. Breath is the vital force in everyone. Breath determines how long we are to live. Those who look upon the breath as the Lord's gift shall live to complete the full span of their life. The breath body is made up of the living breath. So the center of our practice this morning is to stay with the rising and falling breath. Breath is primary, and the posture is secondary. How we hold our body affects our breath. How we breathe affects our posture. Take another moment here in this shape, this life-giving shape. And now bring your knees together and gently rock your knees a little left and right, left and right. And then roll on to the side of your choosing and come around to the puppy pose. So we'll start with the puppy pose today. Move your blocks out of the way. You walk your fingers far forward and the hips are above the knees. Now, some of you might put a block under your forehead. Fan out the fingers, activate your hands, spread the thumb and the pinky wide, and feel the grounding of the hands. That's such a helpful thing, is to activate the fingertips, the palms, and then the upper thighs pull back. For some of you, placing a block under the forehead will be very helpful. Now see if you can lift your elbows up off the ground. And your hands may not even be on the sticky mat. If you feel impingement in your shoulders and your neck, open your hands wider. And everything that I offer here today, test out in your own body and make intelligent and skillful adjustments according to your situation. Return back to a breath-centric viewpoint. Opening up the sides of the ribs, opening up the outer armpits. A cue from the Iyengar tradition that I like very much is pucker up the centers of your armpits rather than push the shoulder joint down to the floor. Lift up in the center of the armpits. And now, in the puppy pose, walk your hands off the sticky mat to the right. So you walk over to the right and pull your left hip bone back and accentuate the left side of the body. Fan out the fingers again, ground the palms. And so you're squeezing the lobes of the right lung and opening the breath into the left side body. Hang out and wait for your fascia to accommodate the shape. Keep the breath as smooth and as balanced as possible. And now walking the fingers back to the center. Walk the fingers over to the left. So it's a asymmetrical puppy here. See if you can lift your elbows up, pull back your upper right thigh bone, and open up the right lobes of the lungs. See if the elbows can come up off the floor. Reach the fingers forward. And all manner of tensions will be revealed. So there's nothing wrong with the pose. There's nothing wrong with you. The purpose of the posture is to reveal the unconsciously held tension. And so you come into an awareness of where the constrictions are in your body. You become aware, that's the first step. The second step is come into a deep acceptance of your imperfection. All of us. A deep acceptance of the way reality is showing up. And then from this place of deep acceptance, the third stage of making skillful adjustments. And now walk the hands back to the center. And here's the table pose. Lift up the head, lift up the trunk, bring the hands kind of whitish, the knees kind of whitish, and begin with the next breath. Exhale, draw in your belly and round your spine. Squeeze your chin to your throat, tuck in your tailbone and pause a moment with the breath out. And then Inhale, rock the pelvis forward, lift the chin, stretch out the throat, lift the tailbone, and pause here. And then exhale, curl up and get all the breath out of your body. Press into your fingertips, tuck in the tailbone. Inhale. Follow the breath to the end of the movement and stop. And exhale. Follow the breath in the other direction as far as you can and pause. And then inhale. And exhale. Now come back into the middle. We're going to reverse the breathing pattern. So this time when you exhale, go into the cow. Exhale and lift the chin up and lift the tailbone up. And then reverse breath, inhale into the cat. And then exhale, go into the cow and you pause. Inhale, open the ribs, the back of the ribs into the cat. Go on your own for a little while here with reverse breathing. The reverse breath teaches us something new. And now eventually find yourself in the middle position, opening up the sides of the body. And so with your exhale, bring the right ear towards the right hip and the right hip forward, and you pause. And then inhale back into the middle. And then to the left, follow the breath, follow the breath, follow the breath. Inhale into the middle, long neck. And then to the right side. Inhale to the center. And then exhale to the left side. On your own, follow your breath. The breath is the teacher. The breath is the guide. Breath is the true sign of life. Good, and now come back into the middle, and we're going to do the reverse breath now. So for this one, you inhale as you go to the right, and you inhale, 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 pause, and then exhale to the center, long neck, long tailbone. To the left side, inhale, 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 stuff in more breath, and then back to the middle. To the other side, to the right side, you fill and you fill and you fill, and somehow you stuff in even more breath in there, and then back to the center, and then over to the left side, inhale, 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 and then back to the middle. These practices will help you increase lung volume. And now bend your elbows and swirl the rib cage around and around. Roll the spine up towards the ceiling and out to the side. And let everything normalize. And now this is either down-facing dog or a return to the puppy. If down-facing dog is appropriate for you, curl your toes under, walk your hands forward, lift up your belly, and pull your upper thigh bones back. And so there are 30,000 different ways to do this pose. All of them are interesting and legal. There isn't just one version of this pose. Your job is to figure out, how do I translate the forces from my body through the shoulder girdle into my fingertips? So I line up the joints. Geometry is not necessarily helpful here. Outer geometry. Look for the inner vectors of forces running through the body. How does my shoulder feel stable in this pose? Do I need to move my hand out? Do I need to turn the fingers of the right hand out a little bit more than the left hand? Every yoga practice needs to be individualized. Cookie cutter yoga leads to problems. And so with time, you come to discover your own twists and turns, your joint orientations. Let's do 3 more breaths here. A long, smooth breath in, and a long, smooth breath out. Keep the body active, smooth breath in, and a smooth breath out. Here's one more. And if you're in the puppy, lift your knees up and walk your hands and feet together in towards the rag doll. So have your feet kind of whitish. Now you can put your hands on a block. You can have your hands on your knees or your shins. You can have the hands on the floor. Every posture is yours to create. So within the general guidelines, within the riverbanks, the river flows. See if you can find the release now. The release in the rib cage, in the shoulder girdle, in the neck. All of these things that become compressed with gravity. Let them relax and open. So we're here, maybe 5 more breaths. Bringing the head below the heart is going to increase your IQ. Every breath you take, your IQ goes up 1 point. Nah, I'm just kidding. But it's not too far off. Right? Usually, the head doesn't get a rich blood supply. Your brain, my brain, requires 1/3 of the body's oxygen. It's a little bit like the IRS. The IRS wants 1/3. Your brain wants 1/3 of your available oxygen. Good, and now slide your hands up your shins. Bring your hands to your knees. Bend your knees a lot. And here is hands on knees. We'll do a little halfway cat and cow here. So exhale, pull in the belly and round your spine. And then inhale. Tip the pelvis forward, lift the chin, stretch out the throat, lift the tailbone, and then exhale, curl up and round. And now on your own, back and forth a few times. Most of all, let it be pleasurable. It's so pleasurable to move the body with the breath. When your practice is pleasurable and fun and enjoyable, you're more likely to do it. And if you're practicing from a place of should or have tos or concepts, one last moment, taking pure delight in joining breath and movement together. And then when you're ready, roll on up to standing and walk the feet a little closer together. And here's the dumping breath. So you inhale and you swing the fingers up, you bend the knees and exhale, let it go. And inhale, swing the fingers up. And then exhale, let it go through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And this is the exception. Exhale through the mouth. We're trying to dump physical, mental, emotional detritus. You let it go. Couple more. Easy, swinging motion for your body. Nice. And this time, roll back up to center and pause. Let your arms hang down by your sides and your hands become open and relaxed and your heart lifted. This is active inhale and active exhale. So you inhale, lift up the ribs. Inhale, widen the side ribs. Inhale even more. And now blow 7, 8 times. Blow the breath out, curl over, put your hands on your knees, round your back. Get all the breath out of the body and you pause. And then inhale, you come rolling on up. And just let the breath normalize here. Go to your full inhale. Inhale, inhale. Explore your maximum volume. Inhale, press into the feet. Take in even more breath, greater breath. And blow it away 7, 8 times. Put your hands on your knees, round your back, pull in Uddiyana Bandha, the lower abdomen. Inhale, you come back up to center. And feel the blood and the breath normalize, the body relax. A third one, inhale, inhale, inhale even more, grounding into the heels, and blow. Squeeze every bit of breath out of the body. And then you come on up to center. This is the practice known as clear your mind. Very important to learn. The more you do this, the more efficacious it becomes. So alternate nostril, Kapalabhati. Bring your hand, your right hand up, thumb and fourth finger. I think most of you know this. Just begin the practice. If you know it, you do a short exhale through the left nostril. Change nostrils, short exhale through the right. Keep the mouth closed, go side to side. If you're new, go slow. If you're used to this, go at a quicker pace. Short exhale, back and forth. This breathing pattern is very helpful. It releases the mind from its clutching nature, clutching on to repetitive thinking. Short exhales, short exhale, short exhale, short exhale. Couple more. See if you can pump your belly. Pull the belly and exhale. Pull the belly and exhale. Pull the belly and exhale. Good. Here's an active inhale. Inhale, inhale. Explore your fullest lung volume and blow it away 7, 8 times. Curl over, hands on thighs or knees, and you round up your spine and you go to the empty place. In your time, you come on up. Close the eyes and become immersed in your inner world. This inner world is real. Much of the things that pass through our mind are unreal. Abstractions, but what is really real is the breath and the rising and falling sensations. A second round of clearing your mind. You can use the other hand if you'd like to experiment with your left hand. Pull in the belly, exhale. Pull in the belly, exhale. Find your own pace and rhythm with this. Short exhales. A snorting breath. Snorting like bull. Keep the mouth closed. If you run out of breath, slow it down, go slower. Clear your mind of worries, anxieties. Good. And now here's an active inhale. Release the hand. Inhale, inhale. Maximum volume here. Wait for it. And now blow it all out. Empty yourself of yourself. Empty yourself of personality. And then you come on up. Close your eyes and savor the after effect. Here is alternate nostril breath, our most important practice. Nadi Shodhana, Anulom Vilom, thumb and fourth finger, thumb and fifth finger. Inhale through the left nostril. Change sides and exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Change, exhale through the left. Inhale left. This time come in with your pinky and then continue the rhythm, balancing your breath, balancing your nervous system, balancing your brain. A few minutes practice begins to grow into a larger and larger practice. This is the principal gift of the yoga tradition. The initial stages of it produce happiness. It's called Sukha Pranayama, the happy breath. It makes you happy. The long-term effects are extraordinary. Build your practice day by day. A small practice becomes a little bit bigger, becomes a little bit bigger still. The first milestone of practice might take you months to get to. 24 minutes, alternate nostril, one gati ka. That becomes the pranayama standard. It's going to take you months to get there, where you're practicing every day, 24 minutes. And then when you're practicing that long, you come to understand why. Till that point, you just take it on faith. You know? Let's change hands. Bring your left hand up and change hands. Try to maintain good standing alignment in the mountain. One of the things you're going to notice with a consistent practice is you'll get a lot of energy from this. It starts to store the prana, the chi in the body. You're breathing against resistance. It starts to strengthen your diaphragm. We've opened up your ability to breathe with all the preliminary breaths. And now you start to go into the mental and psychic realms of the yogic tradition as you do this practice. This is the flushing breath. So we start to do movements with alternate nostril breathing. So inhale, lift the elbow up. Change nostrils, exhale, drop just the head and the elbow forward. Good. Inhale, lift up. Change nostrils. Exhale, let the head go forward. Inhale, you roll on up. Change nostrils. Exhale, the head and neck bow. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, let the head bow. Now come back to center. We're going to change hands again. Come over to your right hand without losing the rhythm. Inhale, lift the elbow up, change nostrils. Exhale, let the head bow forward. Inhale, come on up. Change nostrils, exhale, bow forward. And now on and on you go. The flushing breath seems to speed up the evolution of your pranayama practice. And now return to the center, and here's temple breath. So you bring your hands into prayer position and you're alternating the nostril flow with the thumbs. You might even tap your prayer into your third eye, into your frontal sinuses. And now this is an Om with both nostrils closed. So you inhale, inhale, inhale. And now let your hands relax alongside your body. Walk your feet a little closer together. And press down into the feet, lift up the heart, and sweep your right hand up towards the sky. We're just going to go straight into the side bend here, the lateral stretch, the half moon. Arc your body over, slide the hips out over the heel, contract your inner thighs and your hips, lift up your heart and breathe completely and fully. Deepen the flow of the breath here and see if you can even slow down the breath. Just work with a fuller and deeper breath. Try rolling the right shoulder forward a little bit, roll the right shoulder back, and so you're twisting around the line of the body. Sometimes these minor adjustments reveal universes inside. And now here's 5 pulses. Pulse slower, pulse, 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 pulse. Pulse to your lowest point, squeeze, contract, and hold every muscle in your body. Squeeze, squeeze, and squeeze. And then inhale, you come on up and lower the right hand. Here's your left hand. Bring your left hand way up, pressing down into your left foot. Energize the left side body. And explore what's going on with the left side body. In Chinese medicine, this is the all-important gallbladder meridian that runs on the outside of the body. Breathe up and down. So if you ever get acupuncture or acupressure or Thai yoga, more than likely the practitioner will activate this line in the body. 2 outer lines in the body. We're doing it with breath and attention. Here's 5 pulses. Pulse, 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 pulse. Pulse to your lowest point, squeeze, contract, and hold every muscle tightly in the body. And then inhale, you come on up, lower the hand, and then receive the gift of the pose. And now walk your feet wider apart, turn the toes out, feet kind of wide, toes turn out, hands on your belt line behind you. Here's a spinal extension. So ground the feet, engage just underneath the bottom of the buttocks, move the sacrum forward, move the spine forward, lift up the heart. Now you might want to lift up your chin and look at a dot on the ceiling. The spine goes forward and the ribs come back and the shoulders come back and the elbows come back, and you somehow find a smooth breath and you breathe through any anxiety spinal extension might bring up for you. With time, with practice, all the different positions of the body, you find a smooth flowing, non-anxious breath. A balanced breath, an easy breath, a loving breath. Breath is the true sign of life. Take in one more moment. Bring the top of your head to the floor behind you. Oh, not quite there yet, are you? Okay, inhale, come on up. And now hang over, bend your knees, and return to the counter pose. Turn your toes in. You want to steer your upper thigh bones inwardly. Widen the sitting bones, and that'll release. And some of you will want to have your hands much higher than Bella here. Right? So find the degree in the pose that is successful for your body. And then ground your feet, draw on the belly, and come rolling all the way back up to standing. Good. And now come to the back of your mat with your feet more or less together. Here's something we haven't done in a while. Do you remember Harakumbak? So I'm going to model it here with you, Belle. So from warrior pose, you inhale and you step your right foot forward into warrior and you bring your hands up overhead. And then you push back and you bring your hands to your belly. Push back and you bring your hands to the belly. Warrior one on the left side. Step your left foot forward, bring your hands up. Warrior one left side. Push back, hands to the belly. Now you're going to go to the right into woman warrior. Step off your mat to the right. Woman warrior. Bend your knees, bend your elbows, and you go ha. And then inhale, the feet come together. And here's the left side. Step the left foot out, woman warrior on the left side. Ha. And then inhale, hands to your belly. Now movements 5 and 6 are in place. Bend your knees, turn the palms out and sweep them up overhead. So you're in a squat here, sitting down, weight on the heels. And then inhale, hands come back to the belly. The movement sequence is repeated. Right foot, warrior one, with a ha. You push back, hands come to belly. Left foot, warrior one. Push back, hands to your belly. To the right side, woman warrior. To center. To the left side. Come back to the middle. Now in place, 5 and 6, bend the knees, interlace the fingers and sweep the palms up overhead. Wiggle the hips down. Inhale, straighten the legs, hands to belly. Squat down as you turn the palms out and sweep them up overhead. Inhale to the middle. Third round, right foot, warrior one. Step forward with a ha. Push back, hands on belly. Left foot, warrior one, with a ha. Push back, hands to belly. Woman warrior to the right. You step out and you go ah. Inhale, feet together. To the left side. With a ha, I am powerful. Yes, inhale, hands to the middle. In place, squat, sweep the hands out, up overhead. Hands to belly, straighten the legs. Bend the knees, squat, turn the palms out, and lift the palms up. Hands to belly. Again, warrior one, right foot, steps forward with a ha. Push back. Left foot, warrior one, ha. Push back. To the right side, woman warrior. Feet together, hands to belly. Left side. Ah, nice, Bella. Feet together. In place. Off you go. Squat down. Palms to the belly. Again, squat down. We're going to do this 50 more times. One more time. Right foot, warrior one with a ha. Push back. Left foot with a ha. Push back. To the right side, woman warrior. Ah. To the left side. Ah. In place. 5 and 6. Bend your knees, squat, sweep the hands up. Hands to belly. Again, bend the knees up. Good. Now, bring your hands to your belly, close your eyes, and just feel your heartbeat. Temperature rising in the body. Hold your center in the belly. And we're going to come down onto the floor now. Come onto your belly. And here's a resting pose, Shramarekasana. Now let's do the other one. Turn your chin to the right, hands back, big toes touch, heels apart. Feel your heartbeat against the earth. Now, when you turn your chin to the right, you're going to open up your right nostril. You're going to open up Pingala, the solar channel in the body. This is a very useful thing for relieving neck tension. Here is the cobra pose. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, fingers forward, point your toes, bring your chin to the floor. And the legs can be together or slightly apart, it's your choice, but energize your legs. Press the feet down, press the toes down, engage your hips and your glutes, press the pubic bone down, and with your inhale, bring the head, neck, shoulders forward and up. So you might go up an inch, you might go up 3 inches, keep the elbows bent, and peel the shoulders back. Play around with your head and neck a little bit. Maybe you lift the chin up, maybe you drop the chin forward. Maybe you roll a shoulder here a little bit. Most of you are not going to go as high as Bella. Right? So maybe you're doing a low cobra here. Press the pubic bone down. And now let's add Kapalabhati in the pose. Short, sharp exhales. Keep the legs energized. Keep the breath pumping here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now come in for a landing. Roll your way down. Turn your chin left. Bring your hands back. Big toes touch. Heels wide. And now we open up what's called Ida, the moon channel. The female side of the body. And so this has a powerful balancing effect. Energizing, and yet it brings you into a relaxed state. And now, this is the full locust pose. So bring your arms out into a T and your chin onto the floor. Point your toes. So sometimes known as the big bird pose. We're going to activate the body part by part. So inhale, press the pubic bone down and lift the head up first, then lift up your hands, lift up your shoulders, lift up your toes, and fly here. Lift everything up away from gravity. Press the pubic bone down and Kapalabhati again. Now the short, sharp exhales are very helpful. It'll allow you to stay in the pose longer. Lift your fingers up higher. Can you lift your chin up, your thighs up off the floor for 5 and 4, the whole back body engaging together, 2, and now last moment, come all the way up and then relax. Turn your head to the right, bring your hands back, big toes touch, heels wide. These are your postural muscles. We're strengthening your erector spinae muscles, and all postural muscles are breathing muscles. So our posture and our breath rhythm are intimately intertwined. And now here's one more, full locust pose today. Point your toes, chin on the floor. Bring your arms out like a bird, maybe in a T position, maybe you have them back. Now, if you're a go-getter kind of personality, you can bring your arms forward for a value-added locust pose. Press the pubic bone down, energize your whole body, reach out through the fingers, inhale, and rise on up. Head, hands, shoulders, toes, knees, thighs, fly. Press the pubic bone down, and now pump the breath here. Short staccato exhales. Reach through the toes, reach through the fingers. The whole body engaging for 3 and 2. And then one last moment, come up to your full extent and rest. Turn your chin the other way. Bring the hands back, big toes touch. And then feel the warm blood return back into your sacrum, your low back. The next posture is the child's pose. So you bring your hands under your shoulders and you lift your hips up and you sit back towards your heels. And now you might want to put a block or a fist under your forehead or 2 fists, because everybody's body is different. Just because it's called the child pose doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be an easy pose for your body. Go beyond liking or disliking postures. You go to the witness that watches and observes this all, flowing through body and mind. And now, flip over onto your back. Come onto your back and draw the knees in towards your chest here for a moment. You might put your hands on your kneecaps and just roll your knees a little bit, side to side or around. And here's a very simple knee down twist. So let's do a double knee down twist. Roll your knees over to the left side, and you might even bring your arms out into a T position. You might put a block under your knees or between your knees if that increases your comfort. And 5 long breaths here. Consciously draw the breath in through the nostrils and let the breath go. Breathing in through the nose. Slowly release the breath. Slowly release the breath. You can add the ujjayi sounding breath if you like, the ocean breath. An aspirated sound in the back of the throat. Slowly release the exhale. Slow it down. And now in time, draw in your belly and rock the knees up through center. Bring the head back to center, adjust your hips. And then as it's natural, let the knees go to the other side. Support yourself with blankets or blocks as you might desire. The Zen master Dojin famously said that enlightenment is the non-anxiety about the imperfections of things. Smooth inhale, and then a slow release of the exhale, drawing out the exhale. Inflate with the rib cage under compression here. You open the side ribs, open the back of the spine, and then the slow release of the exhale. And now bring the knees back up through center. Hug your knees in. Wrap your arms around the knees. Bring the head up for a moment. Maybe even get your elbows. Can you get that far? Your forearms, and you squeeze your toes, and you squeeze, and you curl yourself into a little egg. Curl your toes and your bottoms of the feet and the calves and the hips and the thighs and the bellies and the arms and the shoulders, and you squeeze, and you squeeze, and you squeeze. Legs in the air or legs on the wall. So you might like to slide a block behind your pelvis to get your hips up a little higher than your heart. So I like the block pretty close to the tailbone, and the blood flow gets reversed. The feet become empty. This seemingly simple posture, so valuable for your circulation, for your lymphatics, draining the lymph. This posture is so good for your mood. When you feel world weary, when the world, you feel so tired from the world, bring your body into this shape, this position. For people who have varicose veins, for people who are pre-diabetic, this is your number one pose. Turn the body upside down. Sugar problems, circulation problems, mental problems. Such a simple posture with wide-ranging benefits. There's a saying, to know and to not do is to not yet know. So we might know that postures are good for us, or breathing practices are good for us. But if it's not a part of our regular life, we don't fully quite know that all of this is realized in the practice itself. It's the practice that makes the difference. Back to the quote from the Taittiriya Upanishad: man and woman, beast and bird, live by the breath. Breath is called the true sign of life. Breath is the vital force in everyone. Breath determines how long we are to live. Those who look upon the breath as the Lord's gift shall live to the complete full span of life. And you might start to bend the knees now. And put the feet on the floor, slide the block or the blanket out of the way, and roll to your side. And then come on up and sit on a block or sit on a pillow just for one last moment. Just a few more moments of silence and stillness. And bringing the hands into prayer position over the heart, or you can stack the hands up over the heart. Call forth your most noble self. Call forth the great one that lives inside of you, right here, right now. And set the course for your life. In these moments of clarity, make a determination to not just talk about practice, but to show up every day for yourself to your practice. Build your personal practice day by day, and you are bound to have a better future and a better result. Let's turn to the sound of Om here and manifest this intention. Inhale, inhale, inhale even more. Om. Peace, peace. May we be happy and well. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Bella, for being here. What a treat. You're such a great yogini. Thank you all for supporting this. So many patrons of the arts here, where we truly appreciate whatever you can do to support this. It really helps us a lot as we move forward. COVID is going to be around probably for a very long time, and this is safe. And lots of love to you all, and see you real soon.